I'm at freaking my neighborhood Applebee's and I'm using a walker. I'm drinking a marg and this woman comes up to me and tells me she's proud of me. Just like for being there. She just like put her hand on my shoulder and she was like, I'm so proud of you. And I was like, I'm not proud of myself.
Yeah,
like,
are you kidding me?
I'm like 2 margaritas deep at an Applebee's. Like, that's crazy.
Welcome to the Coach 'em Up podcast. I'm Tim Riley. There are two types of people on this planet. There are subscribers and there are non-subscribers. You know what to do. I'm not even going to finish the rest of the spiel. Those of us who have been here long enough, you know where you stand. We are not joined with Zach Zillner. It turns that his extreme addiction to Cuban coffee has cost him dearly. He was hospitalized for a short amount of time, but he is out of hospital. We've been trying to keep him off of the Cuban coffee, which has been a full-time job. We've hired a handler for him. Things seem to be going well. On our next episode, I'll give you an update around how the Cuban coffee addiction is going. Until then, let's go ahead and
crazy first way to hear about somebody. Like, that is my first time hearing anything actual personal about Zach.
Yeah,
about
and all of it is
100%
true. We're just kidding. Zach is obviously, maybe not so obviously, but Zach is fine. We just miss him. And so we're going to keep making up stories to intro. In fact, those of you who listen to the show regularly, please comment your favorite scenarios for why Zach isn't going to be present on our next episode, and I will pick the best one and I will run with that scenario to open the show. We're joined today by Abbey Phillipson. Abby.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. This is my first time in Austin. So not my first time in Texas. I went to the CrossFit Games.
Okay.
Fort Worth, but Austin's cooler. I like it better.
I agree. Of course, I'm biased. I've been in Austin 6 years now, and I think it's like the coolest fucking. But I feel like I'm just like, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, I'm just the worst. Like, I'm just the 35-year-old dude with a podcast in Austin. You know what I mean? Like, brutal.
But you can go to a Gold's Gym if you want.
Yes, you can.
I thought that was going to be way cooler of an experience than I thought. Yesterday, I got a day pass at a Gold's Gym.
Did you go to the new one?
I don't think it was new.
Oh.
I don't think it was new. It was cool. It was cool. But I feel the bench and it was super awkward. I had to roll it off me. It was like,
oh,
it's the first time I've ever done that.
Really?
You're
the first time you've ever failed a bench
by myself.
Okay, I see.
Done the spotless cross your fingers and bench.
Yes.
And failed it in a Gold's Gym. So I think honestly, cool gym, bad memory.
Bad experience. Yeah, hell yeah. Did anyone notice?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Welcome to Austin, you know?
Thank you. Great introduction.
So we've been having fun off air, just kind of getting set up. So I'm very excited about this show because I think we're wired very similarly.
It's the ADHD.
It is 100%. Okay, so I'm familiar with who you are. I told you about the Chat GPT search.
Yeah,
you know,
it's weird.
It is weird.
It's weird.
Everyone, I mean, seriously, when you get a chance, give yourself a search on Chat GPT, see what comes up.
I feel like Tinder should have that feature. Like, you
just immediately you click the button
really
and it, bam, you give it the download.
I don't care what this guy's bio said.
It's like
here's what we know.
Love dogs. Yeah. Chat GPT's like, actually, he hates dogs. Yeah, he was arrested for kicking them in 8th grade. So anyway, I know who you are. Maybe not everyone listening and watching does. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do?
I go by Coach Abbey in the gym. I am the strength and conditioning coach and the powerlifting coach for the University of Michigan Adaptive Sports and Fitness Program. So I work with all of the athletes across all 5 Paralympic sports. And I train with Paralympians, Paralympic hopefuls, and I do all their athletic performance programs and nutrition.
So for those of us who are probably in the majority and haven't worked with a para athlete or are unfamiliar with what those sports are, can you like talk to me like I'm in kindergarten? Give me the rundown. What are those sports? What does it entail? And what does that look like?
Oh yeah. So para means alongside. So when you think Paralympics or para sport, it is basically just alongside sport, meaning that in adaptive sports, there is adaptive equipment, there's additional equipment or different rules or different equipment to make it accessible for people with disabilities to play it. So it is sport, just like any other sport, just with modified things that allow for inclusive participation.
Awesome. And you said 5 sports specifically. What are they? We
have wheelchair rugby, which we actually have the most decorated Paralympian in the world. Chuck Aoki is our head rugby coach. He also plays on the team.
Damn, what a stud.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
We have wheelchair tennis, where we have the second best collegiate wheelchair tennis player in the world on our team. We have para-powerlifting, which is a brand new sport offering that I brought into play just this year. So we just finished up nationals.
You brought that in?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go, dude. That's awesome.
Fun. So we actually just were in Grand Rapids, Michigan for nationals on Tuesday, where we now have the female national champion for both the total lift and best lift.
Dude, let's fucking go, Abby.
Yep. So we got some cool people. We have adaptive track.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
First year, by the way, bringing on the program and you're winning nationals. I mean, kind of a big deal.
Well, I'm kind of pissed that they all bench more than me. That's the biggest issue with it. So they've got me in the gym. Like, I'm finally on a bench program. Like, when it's just fun to just see how much you can do every 100%. Random Friday or whatever.
Basically every time I work out. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm like, actually like, oh, damn it. I have to have a program.
Got to get dialed again.
Yeah. We have adaptive track and field. We had 2 Paralympians this past cycle. Sam Grew, who previously held the gold medal title as he's a single leg amputee high jumper. So he held the gold medal from Tokyo. And then Leo Merle runs the 1500 meter, and he went to the Paralympics this past year as well. I'm missing a sport, and it is wheelchair basketball.
Okay. The first thing that comes to mind is there have to be, well, let me back up before I get into the nitty gritty of the training stuff. What drew you to coaching in this particular space of working with para athletes?
Yeah. I'm going to make a long story short, but I myself grew up with a physical disability. So just recently I was looking back at the diagnostic process that my parents and I were going through when I was 2-3 years old. And I'm looking at these papers and it's all this shit uncoordinated, no balance, no muscle tone, didn't walk until she's 3. So basically just bad at everything physically, right? So I ended up getting diagnosed with what's called classical Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's a genetic condition that I actually have the first mutation of it in my family. So I started it, even though it's highly genetic. So watch out, kids, because you're fucked. Yeah, so throughout that time, I was just really, really fragile. My joints dislocate super, super easily. My skin breaks open. So what would be a bruise for somebody turns into a large cut for me. I'm super stretchy, everywhere. So you get what would be a bruise and it just spreads open to a massive injury. Stitches rip through the skin because the skin isn't strong enough to hold them. So it's just a mess. My body does not hold together. The internal tissues are the same. So vascular tissues, the tissues surrounding your organs, spine, everything. So everything's just elastic and loose and fragile.
Would you mind going into the mechanism behind that a little bit?
Yeah.
Just because selfishly I'm interested.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a gene called COL1A2, and mine is mutated, and that is a collagen building gene, codes for correct collagen production. So when you get imaging of my tissues, where collagen is usually supposed to line up very tight, neatly coiled at the as it is, your collagen is supposed to set up like that. But especially in recovery from an injury, it's supposed to be able to organize itself.
Okay.
Mine is really just in little far spaced out blobs, little chunks of collagen, and it never kind of aligns itself properly and organizes itself. So I don't heal. I scar really, really poorly if I even get to heal at all for some stuff. So yeah, it was just bruising and cuts and joint dislocations and motor recruitment issues that I had. I couldn't flex muscles on purpose ever, and just, yeah. So I ended up getting diagnosed with this condition.
How old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was misdiagnosed with a form of muscular dystrophy at 2. And then so fun, which was supposed to be fairly progressive. And then all the like treatments and stuff that we did, nothing did anything. And they are actually seeing that the more I was able to, play at recess and the more I was forced to kind of like do the things that able-bodied kids were doing, the better I got. So we kind of just like set it on the back burner for a little bit. We're really fragile, but always felt like something wasn't quite right with that diagnosis. And then I did gymnastics, which for the same reasons that it's really, really bad for you, I was quite good at it because I was so flexible.
Oh, sure.
So like legs going behind, like I was good. Legs going behind my head. Like I could do all the cool tricks pretty easily because my body just like bent into all these shapes.
Yeah.
But, ended up being that I was vaulting and I was like 10 and both of my knees completely dislocated through full hyperextension. So they went, just like touched the back of the mat, bent, 90-degree angle.
Oh my God, dude. Holy shit.
So then we go to the orthopedic guy.
Right.
And he comes in and it's in the summer. So I'm like wearing shorts and I got all my scars on my legs and I get like a lot of the extra skin that's on my joint points. So like my hands look like old people hands and like all my joints have all this extra skin.
Okay.
So he comes in, I'm sitting on the table and he's like, give me a second. He didn't even talk to us. He was just like, what the fuck?
He spotted it right away.
He spotted it. And then next thing you know, like 2 minutes later, he comes in with like 6 interns. And he's like, this is classical Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Get the fuck out of here.
What?
He brought the interns in?
Yes, he brought the interns in. And I'm sitting on the table like...
By the way, he knows that you guys don't know, right?
Well, I don't know if
that is crazy
He
work.
thought he was coming in to fix my knee. And then he's like, actually, you have this life-threatening condition that's incurable.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually
intense.
super happy for this because it's probably what I needed. Just like point blank, something's wrong with you and I know what it is instead of something's wrong with you and I don't know what it is. So get diagnosed. He basically said, don't ever walk back into gymnastics ever again. And I was like, roger that. Got it. So, and then all these kind of like horrible things that were supposed to happen to me that like the pamphlets say are going to happen to you happened. Bummer. So I was 16 and I had a grade 5, which is complete separation of my L4, L5, S1 vertebrae in my lower back from doing nothing, which just happened over time. So they completely fell off of each other. When your vertebrae don't have support from each other underneath, no foundation, they kind of just crumble.
Yeah.
So I had 7 fractures in my L4, 3 in my L5, and 4 in my S1. And then, they put me in this like huge back brace while I waited for a neurosurgeon that would take my case on, just because like so young, so fragile with the condition. Dr. Tekmun Su, he ended up wanting to do a case study on it. So he took on the case and did a surgery that hadn't been done before in the way that he performed it and fixed me up. And I asked him, hey, like, do I need to go to physical therapy? And he was like, nope, I want you to strength train.
Wow.
So I did. And then I really liked it. And I got kind of buff. So then I did a bodybuilding show.
Let's go.
So that's all that happened.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're how old? Because I'm listening to your story. I'm like, I fractured my back my freshman year of high school. I don't know how I did it. I had to wear the body brace for like 2 months, and I remember how miserable that was for me. And I have no genetic mutation, so I can only imagine what the road to recovery was like for you.
It was tough. I was in the hospital for a good amount of time. They found out after giving me a lot of Percocet that I was allergic to Percocet.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That didn't help the healing process. So I was in the hospital for a good amount of time.
Also, I would imagine too, because of the nature of the disorder, does recovery from a surgery in and of itself becomes a concern.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. Yep. So just having to cut through that much tissue, they ended up going posteriorly. That surgery is usually done from the front, but they were concerned with the healing that would happen, having to cut through my abdomen and go through fragile tissue and organs through the front. So they went through the back. It was between the two layers, it was over 90 stitches or staples they had to do.
So the, post-op prescription is get jacked.
Right.
Let's freaking go.
I think I wrote that one down. But
and you're how old when they tell you like, hey, you need to strength train?
It was just before my 18th birthday.
Wow.
So yeah, so I spent a little bit of time using a wheelchair, like out of school, not doing anything, and then started using a walker. And then it ended up being like, I didn't even get going on it right away. Like it was some medical necessity. I kind of just like let myself fully heal, which took about a year. And then freshman year of college, I like put on the freshman 15 on my 4'11" body. And I was like, you know what, maybe you should start going to the gym. Like you're supposed to be doing that anyways. And so I was like, two-pronged goal here. Let's get it.
Yep.
So, and then I just really liked it. And then COVID happened and it gave me a lot more free time to be able to do it. And then all the while I was at the University of Michigan studying, and I ended up founding a program called Adaptive Gymnastics. And it was basically my dreams of being a gymnast were squashed. So
Sure.
I started a program, co-founded a program for kids with physical or intellectual disabilities. We started at one gym and it ended up expanding to 3 different gyms, coaching a gymnastics team for kids with disabilities. And that became like my shtick. I'm strength training, like I'm doing all this cool work with adaptive sports. My honors thesis at the end of my senior year, I did on adaptive sports and recreation, and just like how inaccessible sport is. But it, like we know from all of this research that the developmental benefits of participating in sport and having a team and physical activity are long lasting, and so crucial for kids, regardless of ability, to be able to have.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like there are not enough avenues for, I never went to gym class. I was the kid who sat out of gym class because I wasn't allowed to participate.
That's what I was going to ask you is like growing up, did it feel like you were kind of like bubble girl? Like you weren't allowed
I was bubble girl. I always say I was bubble wrap girl. So all of my friends, like my best friend growing up, she's now a professional CrossFit athlete, Alexis Raptis. She took 6th place last year at the CrossFit Games. She's been going
what a
since she was
stud.
like, right? She got 2nd in the teen games.
What a fucking badass.
Yeah,
Goodness
she's cool.
gracious.
She's like my bestie. But like just seeing, she did gymnastics with me. Then she started CrossFit. My mom was a group fitness instructor on the side for like 30 years. My brother was a semi-pro water skier. So like my whole family is super athletic. I'm pissed. Like all the cool girls were playing soccer and like it sucked. It sucked. I sat on the side of everything.
Yeah.
But rightfully so. Every time I participated, I got hurt. So
right.
It's valid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I didn't even know about adaptive sport. I didn't know that I could keep doing gymnastics. I would just have to find a way for me to be able to do that safely. And that's all parasport is. It's just giving somebody the tool that they need. And sometimes it's way easier than, like different equipment or a special coach or whatever. Sometimes it's just like, you got to modify like a little bit in order to allow somebody to play.
Zach, what's the best training app on the planet?
It has to be Train Heroic. Gone are the days of sending the old crusty PDF. Now we have a sleek new app.
It's easy to use. There's videos with descriptions. You get to track and log your weight, your reps. There's a community chat function. You can submit videos. You can get feedback.
How about the leaderboard, Tim?
I started using Train Heroic first as an athlete and someone who wanted to learn. Now I use it as a coach. Athletes and other coaches can go and be a part of my training community and get results.
Whether you're an athlete, coach, or just like to train, use the link in our description to find out how you can train on the best app in the world.
And join us on Train Heroic today. This episode is brought to you by friend of the show, David Gray of David Gray Rehab, creator of the absolute game-changing foot, ankle, and Achilles program. To date, it's helped over 8,000 people, including Zach and myself, get back to running, jumping, and playing pain-free. This program isn't just for athletes, it's also been used by coaches and physios in the NFL, NBA, and Premier League, as well as every other major sport. And if that wasn't impressive enough, you can get the full program 15% off lifetime access when you click the link in the show notes and use code TIM at checkout. Now, back to the show. So starting this adaptive program for gymnastics, was this something that was like, because it sounds like this is like your entry point into coaching.
Yeah, yep.
Was it something where it's like the thought came to you, you're like, I'm going to do this? Or how did the wheels get set in motion for that to happen?
So a gymnastics program at Michigan, it was like a little club organization at Michigan, had already been started. And I saw it, and I saw that it was like gymnastics for kids with disabilities.
Okay.
And so I went, and it really was just like playing in a gym with kids with disabilities. So I told the guy who was running it, who was like in the middle of founding it, I was like, hey, like I have gymnastics experience. I would love to actually turn this into something that's like they're going on the beam and they're going on the bars and they're learning, you know, somersaults and stuff. So he started letting me run stations. And then we started performing at the beginning of Michigan women's gymnastics meets. We would go and bring our beam, our adaptive beam, which just sits on the floor, our adaptive bar, and like the cheese wedge mat thing. And we would perform. And people loved it. And the kids loved it.
Yes.
And we started, at the end, we would do routines and have spectators come, like parents and family, and we'd give them medals at the end.
Gosh, so special.
And just seeing the competitive nature and like they have these short and long-term achievable goals that they are excited to come, not just because, oh, I get to run around and do whatever I want and like be in a gym space.
Right.
But it's like they had more fun when they had these sport-specific goals to reach. And I was like, all right, yeah, this is important.
I'm fucking locked in.
I'm locked in.
Well,
they're locked in. I'm locked in. Yeah.
it has to be. I have to imagine, you know, as I'm looking back over your life and your experience and you feeling you not having that, and then getting an opportunity to facilitate that, and these little boys and girls who get an opportunity to compete and to do the thing they love and to receive the validation for doing those things. I mean, incredible.
It healed.
That's incredible.
It healed me.
Yeah, truly. You know, you touched on something that I've often thought about and wondered, like, how do I navigate this? How does anyone navigate it? You walked into that gym of the pre-existing program and you recognize that it was a gymnastics setting, but they were just kind of like playing, like they weren't really, and it kind of gets into this place of like being treated differently.
Yeah. So I think largely, and I want to preface this with, I am going to speak to the space that I am as a person with a disability and who works with a ton of people who are part of the disabled community. I don't speak for everybody. So like there are going to be people with disabilities who might listen to this or just feel differently about it in their day-to-day life. But I'm going to speak to like largely what the disability community thinks about this. But generally speaking, like saying like differently able and like special and all these things, those terms don't come from disabled people. Disabled people want to be called disabled people. Disabled people want people to recognize the access barriers that we have and then get treated the exact same because we fix them. That's it. Like, I feel like when we shy away from like treating disabled people just as you would treat your homie, that's why we make jokes about it on my Instagram. Like, we're joking, we're having fun.
By the way,
that's what life is. Like
your Instagram page, it's like I saw a post the other day. It was like, can you tell which athlete is the blind one? And I mean, or like pushing an athlete out of their chair.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's fucking funny. And guess what? So the blind one, where we're going down the line, like, can you guess who's blind? Guess whose idea what that was? The girl who's blind. Like, and when Chuck gets pushed down the stairs in his wheelchair, guess whose idea that usually was? Chuck. So it's like, I think when people are like scared to even like say the word disabled, that's a problem with the way that you think it is to be disabled. Like if you think like, oh, you know, Chuck's disabled or Abby's disabled, if you like think that's like offensive to say, then you probably think really low of people with disabilities where that's like an offensive word or something, you know? So I think like to your question about, you know, like coming into a space and seeing that it's like just an easier version of life. It's like, if we're all being honest with ourselves, like nobody who is disabled wants that at all. So, and we saw that, and like, you know, good intention is always important. Intentions are always important. But I think like, you know, a person without a disability doesn't know that. Like, it's just trying to make something that's, you know, fun and gives them a break from their, oh my gosh, such a hard life.
Horrible. Well, I was thinking about this in the drive-in, and the concept of like someone looking at someone else, whether and it's like this societal view of like my life, my circumstance, whether it's like, financially, physically, feeling, it's coming from a place of like almost like feeling superior, and then it's like a pitying almost, what I mean?
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
like it's condescending.
Yeah.
To assume that your life is somehow inherently better or more fulfilling because this person is different from you, and
Fabulous point. I was quite honestly, obviously there are things that we talk about in, spaces that surround disability all the time. But I was hoping you asked a question like this, because one of the big points that we talk about all the time is this concept of inspirational, of someone with a disability inherently being inspirational. And newsflash, every fucking disabled person hates that shit. Like my boss was telling me that he gets high fives just going to the grocery store. And he's like, your bar was that low for me that I get a high five at the grocery store? Like, damn. And I think about like, and this happens, every disabled person I know has
Imagine high-fiving someone who's a literal Olympian. Like the gentleman you're talking about, the most decorated Paralympian of all time, getting a high five because he made it into the grocery store.
Chuck actually just posted an Instagram video today. It was like 4-time Paralympian, most decorated Paralympian in the world, one of the best athletes, period, of this time, gets high fived for going to the bathroom.
You're kidding.
Shit. Like, like today posted that.
Jesus
but
Christ.
we talk about this idea, what's referred to as is inspiration porn. Okay. So like it's literally what it's called. So disability stands as this thing, unfortunately, sometimes where people see that as like, wow, how inspiring to see that this girl's life fucking sucks.
Right.
And she still goes to the gym. I'm going to go to the gym. And it's like, what the hell? Like your bar was that low for a disabled individual that like they get to inspire you just by going to the store? Like it's so weird. I remember this actually happened when I was using a walker, and I went to Applebee's. Okay.
Shout out Applebee's.
Shout out Applebee's.
Shout out Applebee's everywhere.
Use my code Abby10 for. But I'm at freaking my neighborhood Applebee's, and I'm using a walker. And I'm sitting at my little booth. My walker's right there. I'm looking gross, okay? Like, I got other things to worry about than, like, combing my hair at this point, okay? I was just trying to survive.
Girl just needs some chicken tendies and a marg, for fuck's sake.
For real. So I quite literally, I love that you said marg, because I'm drinking a marg, right? I'm with my friends, and I'm drinking a marg, and this woman, dead ass, comes up to me and tells me she's proud of me. And I'm like, just like for being there. She just like put her hand on my shoulder, and she was like, I'm so proud of you. And I was like, I'm sitting here on a Tuesday evening drinking a margarita. That's called alcoholism, not inspirational. Like, what the fuck? Like, I was so like, I just kind of like looked at her and was just like, I'm not proud of myself.
Yeah,
like,
are you kidding me?
I'm like 2 margaritas deep at an Applebee's. Like, that's crazy. But no, it's just like weird. You know what I mean?
For what it's worth, I too have been several drinks deep at an Applebee's on a Tuesday once or twice in my life. So,
and that's at your low.
And it was a low point. Yeah.
But the point is like
the cheese sticks weren't though. Fire. Good Lord.
They're so good. Everything there is good. We can't lie. But anyways, I always say like Chuck Aoki. So just for anybody who doesn't know, he's a 4-time Paralympian. He is one of the best athletes, period, of his time. I think like we always say like best Paralympian or best wheelchair athlete. He has the genetics, the perfect genetics to be the best wheelchair rugby player that has ever existed, and he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, yes, he has a genetic mutation that gives him a disability where he uses a wheelchair, but period, end of story, he has the perfect genetics to be a wheelchair rugby player.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like there's people with perfect genetics to be a really good sprinter.
Yep.
So same freaking thing. But he's inspirational. Like, so I don't want to say like you can't call someone who with a disability inspirational. Chuck is.
Right.
He's an insane coach. He's a 4-time Paralympian. He has the most grit you have ever seen out of an athlete. Like he is perfectly coachable, and you know, he adapts quickly. He is insane. That's what makes him inspirational. And if I said all that and you didn't know Chuck was in a wheelchair, you'd say, oh, wow, what an inspiration. And then I add in the wheelchair part, and it like should still be inspirational. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
yes.
So just make them standing and ask yourself if it would still be inspirational. And that's kind of like your checkpoint of like, am I inspiration porning this person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, as you mentioned, I'm thinking every time I go to watch a football game, every time, or God forbid it's a playoff game or something like that, it's like, running back so-and-so's grow up his whole life and his sister is, insert something that, we've deemed societally as being like,
the shittiest thing that could happen to you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he showed up and he was a good brother. And it's like, isn't that just called being a family member?
It's literally bare minimum.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like exploiting cousin with Down syndrome. And here's a photo of them together. And it's like, what are you trying to do? Probably a lot of other inspirational people that you could have talked about that their inspiration has nothing to do with just somebody having a mutation in their family. Like it's.
How do you reconcile? You mentioned the intention, right? The implication.
Yeah.
When someone, they're clearly trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But they're totally missing the fucking mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you navigate that personally? I mean, do you smile and nod and say like, thank you? Or does it catch you in a mood sometimes?
Yeah.
Like, because a whole lifetime of doing that. At some point,
oh my God, everybody's done it.
I'm going to be like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
That is a universal experience where...
Is that like a canon event?
It is. It absolutely is. But like even I myself, I don't always... say the right things in terms of even disability, which I would consider myself now to be, quite, I'm not saying an expert, but like I'm involved in that community every single day. I live it and I work it. And, but I think it's so important to, I always say before I talk to people about adaptive sport and about disability, I always say, I am the perfect person to mess up with. And I want you to know that today, like if anything you want to ask or any curiosities you have, they are across the board. Like that's why people stare at people with disabilities, like your kids. You have questions, you have curiosities. That's your brain just doing what a brain does. You see something and you try to answer the questions that you have. And so today, especially, like I want you to ask what you want to ask and not be scared to like, don't have to tiptoe or dance around it. I'm the perfect person to just tell you how else you could have phrased it. Yeah. And that's that. And then you use it and you move on. I think cancel culture it makes it hard to learn from, just learn how to speak about disability or really anything that tends to be touchy.
Yeah, you have to speak correctly.
Yeah, you have to speak correctly. So
there's no room for error.
Yeah, but like there has to be, especially with disability. That's how you get stuff like differently abled, which we all hate. We all hate differently.
I'm not going to lie, I've never even heard that.
Yeah, people say that.
Is that
like he's not disabled, he's differently abled. And you're like, no, I'm fucking disabled.
It feels more patronizing to me.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. And that's those types
outside looking
terms.
in. That's the first time I've heard that term.
Okay.
It feels patronizing.
Good. Yes, it does. And it's like, yeah. Or like wheelchair bound is not an acceptable term anymore.
That's not acceptable.
Can I explain why?
I don't say that.
But you've heard it.
But I have heard it.
And you probably wouldn't know to like think like, there's probably a different way to say that.
No.
So as mobility aids go, walker, wheelchair, crutches, cane, leg braces, whatever it is, what those are largely for is not just for people who like can't move their legs. Wheelchairs and walkers, mobility aids period, are made to give somebody more access to the world. Better ability to navigate the world more smoothly, more conveniently, more efficiently, more like somebody without a disability would, right? So they're very freeing. And so the wheelchair bound term insinuates that it's something that, they are bound to their chair and it is, like this thing, instead of looking at it as something that allows you to like navigate the world better, because that's what it is. Using a wheelchair.
It gives it a negative connotation as opposed to like this thing that's actually really wonderful that affords you the opportunity to have more access and to experience the world.
Right. Like you wouldn't say glasses bound, like somebody who has bad eyesight is not glasses bound. Like that's weird. They put them on and it allows them to like do more, see more.
Yeah.
You sit in your wheelchair instead of trying to, hobble around the house. You're not wheelchair bound. You use a wheelchair. So you say wheelchair user, usually chair user, wheelchair user, in a wheelchair even is like fine. Like wheelchair bound is a little outdated, a little weird.
I feel that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, but I'm never gonna get mad at somebody who says wheelchair bound. I know that they are literally trying to use whatever the correct
yes,
right now, but we overdo it sometimes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
yep. So my original question. but now the conversation up to this point has helped me broaden my perspective here. My original question, but I think it's important I ask it. My original question is going to be, what are some unique challenges? But then as our conversation, working particularly with para athletes, but then I'm thinking, my God, well, there's a litany of things that can occur that could keep someone from participating in their particular sport, right? It's not like it's one specific thing. So the challenges, air quotes, or the opportunities to try and, put someone in a place to perform are fucking endless. You know what I mean? So I would imagine creativity.
Oh my gosh. When I say that I would not want to be a strength and conditioning coach if it weren't for the way that I'm doing it now, the population that I get to work with right now, I mean that. And I love being a strength and conditioning coach. But I was asked that in my interview, like, I said it was my dream job. And they said, would it be your dream job if it was, let's say, the U of M gymnastics team? It would not be. Mm-hmm. I would have a different dream job because of the creativity component. Like, I am never bored. We work with 70 plus athletes. We have, incoming recruit classes, and we are constantly recruiting athletes and competing against athletes with disabilities across the board. Even like you take the same within cerebral palsy or spinal cord injury, the two same people, maybe the same exact spinal cord injury, present completely differently. Like the motor units that are still intact are completely different. Like, I have so much fun figuring out what kinds of training their body can do, what it responds to. And it's never ending. It's 5 different sports, and there's not 2 athletes that are on the same program. And I don't think that will ever be able to happen.
Wow. That is, now the first thing my mind thinks is like logistically, how the fuck do you pull this off?
I'm tired. I'm real tired.
So because I think about some of my day-to-day stuff, and I've joked with, on the podcast before, it's like, I swear to God, if I have to do another dynamic warm-up, the same dynamic warm-up again, right?
Yeah.
And I actually, just in my own in-person training, I started training Gen Pop. I still do. I work with athletes from high school to pro, and I still do all of those things at the same time, all the time. And seasonally things are like different, but like the reason being is because if I do the same thing over and over, Abby, I get miserable, dude.
Yep.
I get miserable.
Yep.
If I don't have something to solve for or have the opportunity to come up with creative ways.
I like solving. I'm solving all freaking day. Every movement, they could come in on a Monday. And so I'm thinking spinal cord injury specifically. If it's like, so paraplegia is lower limbs are affected. Quadriplegia is upper limbs are also affected. But there's a lot of athletes with like incomplete, so the spinal cord isn't completely severed. So they still have some brain, spinal cord, muscle connection.
Okay.
But like, you got to figure out where it is. But anyways, from day to day, you might have an athlete who can come in and can do a tricep push down, and then the next day, or like switch the position slightly and they can't do it anymore. And I'm like,
oh,
like I just get to like just find out all of this information that no one else gives a shit about.
Right.
And I get so happy to be the first person that realizes that, Joe's tricep works in this position, but it doesn't work in this position. And how can we figure out how to progressively overload the tricep so that in this position, eventually we can like, it's so fun. I'm having so much fun.
Is there like an order of operations in your mind? Because as I'm thinking about, okay, like when it comes to training application, the way I would look at it is like, okay, we have like task that we're trying to accomplish. And then like we have the things that are maybe barriers to us being able to complete that task. And then take me through like what you're going after or the lens through which you're operating when it comes to problem solving, stuff like that.
So the first thing I want to say about this is that these athletes for most of their life have approached movement or fitness or anything like that from a medical lens of they're trying to fix something or alleviate some sort of symptom, something inherently related to their disability, right? It's trying to treat something. Right. That's occupational therapy, physical therapy, recreational therapy, anything that they're doing, band exercises at home or whatever it is. It's all coming from this lens of like, how do I make your disability less obvious, right? And so as strength and conditioning coach, I try to completely, as much as I can, come at it from an athletic performance lens, period. I look at them as an athlete, not a disabled athlete. So with that being said, we do have a physical therapist and an athletic trainer who work just with our program, which is amazing. So they do most of like the initial movement assessment from a medical standpoint. So just get like baseline, like, because you're gonna have, someone with cerebral palsy might have like one side completely, spastic, completely contracted all the time. The other side's fine. So these are things like medically, I have to be medically informed about their body more so than you would with a typical athlete. But from there, like just how you would do an able-bodied athlete, I do kind of an athlete needs analysis.
Yep.
And that's going to be where you see like the most like medical type stuff, stuck in there, because just like with an able-bodied athlete, would you, start training, a college football player, start having them do like power for speed bench press if they can't even do a freaking push-up? No, like you got to cover the basics. Right. So a lot of times, because these athletes don't have any experience in weightlifting or in strength and conditioning or athletic performance, it's all been just like range of motion, medical mobility, symptom treating. They need the foundation. Yeah. So pretty much everybody is starting with like basic hypertrophy, basic strength.
Let's fucking go.
Hypertrophy, just so everybody knows that I can say that word. So pretty much everybody needs like the base. So it's I build a medically informed base. But then I get to do a sport analysis. And you know how fun it is to do a sports needs movement analysis when it's freaking single leg amputee javelin? Like, hell yeah. I have so much fun. And there's like, there's also like limited availability of like materials to watch. So usually you'd want to watch some film of like, if you're not familiar with the sport, to like really look at the position that they play with wheelchair rugby, or just look at the fine-tuned details of their sport. But there's very few times where there's something available for me to watch other than watch the athlete do it. So yeah, but I mean, it's these very nuanced sport analyses that I get to look at and try to figure out what kind of creative strength and conditioning program I would do for, a double leg amputee long jumper. Like, that's so fun. It requires so much creativity and so much problem solving. And our gym happens to be, we call it accidentally accessible, because they didn't build it with accessibility in mind, but it's an accessible
You're
gym.
fucking kidding.
It's so cool. There is no lift in any of the platforms. Like the bathrooms are accessible.
Because was it built? It wasn't built with the intention of it being the facility for the Okay.
I think what happened,
because that would have been fucking wild.
That would have been fucking wild. Story has it that it was built like the Paralympic Training Center in Colorado Springs is like accessible because they also have Paralympians there. Rumor has it the University of Michigan Strength and Conditioning Center is built off of like that.
Okay.
Same vibe. So we call it accidentally accessible.
Nice.
Because like they didn't let us in there until very recently. So definitely wasn't with us in mind. Yeah, that's a whole another can of worms that we can talk about.
The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with Aleco.
Let's go.
Not only is Aleco found in 85% of Power 5 schools, but they also offer at-home solutions from racks, flooring, rigs, barbells, bumper plates, your favorite accessories like straps and weightlifting belts, you name it, Aleco's got you covered. Go to aleco.com/coachemup and get access to the same equipment that they're using in the best facilities with the best athletes on the planet. The Coach 'em Up podcast is now powered by Vald, the global leader in human measurement technologies. Whether you're working with elite athletes, gen pop, or return to play populations, Vald's tools are designed to give you objective, actionable data to help drive your decision making. From Nord boards, force decks, and smart speed timing gates, all which I use, Vald helps you measure what actually matters. Their technology is used and trusted by the NBA, NFL, EPL, and NCAA, as well as thousands of high-performance clinics and facilities around the world. If you're serious about performance, recovery, or precision coaching, Vald gives you the best tools to test, assess, and improve. Because remember, if you're not testing, you're just guessing. Follow the link below to learn more and request a demo. from a perspective coming from the NCAA, from, particular programs and schools, do you feel like your athletes are prioritized in the way that other athletes are?
No, we have a long way to go. And I am so thankful, like beyond words. I am so impressed and so thankful for the University of Michigan and their backing and support of our program. Like, insane. We started in 2019 and we've got Paralympians and we've got full access to the same facilities that varsity athletes are in. So I think like the schools that we compare ourselves to that are in the adaptive sports space, they've got, separate but equal. They've got their own facility that's, off campus, and they've got their own this and their own that. And it's like away from everything. Our program is unique. We are the only one where we are in the University of Michigan varsity weight room. So in a practice, we may be, bench pressing next to the lacrosse guys, next to the gymnastics girls, like whatever. We're, using the University of Michigan varsity track. That is where we practice. And so I think from that aspect, like, we are not doing separate but equal. We are equal, period. Like, we are mixed in. We are not para athletes. We are athletes. And so that's something that I think is amazing about the University of Michigan and, just the access that we have. But I will say, like, there's a nutrition station, like a fueling station for in between practices. And we practice the same amount as everybody else. And we don't have access to the nutrition. Like, it's literally just like Gatorade packs and like granola bars, and it's stocked all the time. They have like chefs back there that are making stuff, but then there's like the snacks and stuff. They don't let us touch it. We've offered to pay for it. Like, yeah, we're not allowed to use it. So I think it's okay to talk about the barriers that we still face.
Yeah.
And while still being so thankful for how far we've come and the access that we do have. But like, there's some like NCAA track finals. We're in Eugene about a month ago. And it was live streamed, and they live streamed every single thing except wheelchair finals. And our athlete was at wheelchair finals in racing finals in Eugene. And the live stream literally cut out. Like, was it that hard for you to just keep it going? It seems intentional at that point. You know what I mean? So like that's an issue. Sometimes locations where, so athletes with spinal cord injury, usually you don't sweat. You can't sweat anymore. So like temperature regulation becomes becomes a pretty significant issue, temperature regulation, because you literally can't sweat. So there have been times where like we'll have like a mixed event. So it's like able-bodied athletes, and then they let adaptive athletes come too. And it's in like a place that's like 106 degrees in Arizona and whatever. And they don't have any systems in place for athletes to be able to temperature regulate. And like, so it's just like, we're never the first thought. We get last pick of like practice times and stuff, even though I think to make it equitable instead of just equal, we should get first choice. Because folks with disability in the morning, like depending on their disability, need to do pretty long morning routines, whether it's like a bowel or urine program of like, if you can't, have bodily autonomy over like the functions that you have. Like there's programs that you have to do that take a long time, like medication, any stretching you have to do just to be able to like get out of bed and get in your chair. So I think we should have first dibs. That would be like the equitable response, is like, okay, let the para athletes choose their time, because everybody else can be quite flexible. But some of our athletes have like 2-hour programs, and that's like way down the line. But it's like, we are not thought about first. We are always thought about last, but we are thought about equally. So it's double-edged, I guess.
Something I would imagine that feeling and those circumstances are not new to you or anyone, right?
We're not surprised. We're never surprised. We're always surprised when we do get stuff, unfortunately.
Is that something that like as time passes, because I would imagine like, I'm just trying to use things in my own experience in life that are different, but like give me the same feeling, where it's like, I would imagine you kind of go through waves of like maybe anger, frustration, resentment, kind of getting to a place where you've accepted that it's how it is, but also still not being okay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How do you as a coach, because you know how hard your athlete worked to be there and to compete, and
just as hard.
So the emotions that surround a circumstance like that, how do you navigate that? How do you have those conversations with your competitors, right? Because I would imagine, I'm just thinking like, if I'm you and I've worked with someone, disability, no disability, what doesn't fucking matter. And it's time for them to compete and the fucking lights get turned off. I'm going to be sick for that person, the work they've put in, all the time, effort, energy, you know?
It's a really good way to put it.
So how do you have those conversations, and what's the shockwave after effect of things like that?
Yeah. So our director of the program that oversees our program, Dr. Okunlami, he is a wheelchair user himself, but he is also a doctor, and he runs our program, and he is like the most eloquent speaker I've ever heard in my life. And he is, with that and his experience as a person with a disability, and super passionate about adaptive sports, he is our guy that just every door that has been opened for us has been from this guy. So like, shout out Doc,
Nice.
Dr. O, we call him. But I will say, like, there are so many little disappointment things that come about between all the triumphs. There's always, a little like turn the lights out on our athlete type feeling. So Dr. O, I'll share a little story. We had wheelchair tennis nationals at the Varsity Tennis Center at the University of Michigan. And it was a huge event. It was nationals. It was a national competition, and it was a whole weekend event. And we have really good tennis players. We had the best collegiate wheelchair tennis player in the world there competing, all the really great teams. And the University of Michigan tweeted like a sad face meme kind of thing and was like, there's no athletic events going on this weekend. Like, what are you doing with your weekend? And we were like,
Oh, fuck.
yikes.
Dang it.
Yikes. So our banquet was like a couple days later, and Doc picks up the microphone. You could have heard a pin drop. He was just talking about like everything that we've done. And he was like, and yet still we need to talk about the barriers that face. Like, we are not seen. We are not seen as athletes. We are, and it was like, we were all just like, yes, like, you go, Doc.
Yeah.
You tell him. So it's like through all this celebration that we have, and there's so much more to celebrate than there is to complain about, for real. But yeah, like I am looking toward a future, and our whole program is looking toward a future where there's not adaptive sport and sport, there's just sport. And I will add too that I'm surprised I didn't yap about yet. What's super cool about our program is that it's not just for people with disabilities. If you don't have a disability, you can play on our sports teams. Yes.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So collegiate wheelchair basketball in the collegiate division, you can have 2 able-bodied competitive players on your
On the team.
Yep. So we hold tryouts
That's
for
fucking
able-bodied
incredible.
wheelchair basketball player. Yep. The wheelchair basketball coach herself plays in a wheelchair basketball league, and she does not use a wheelchair.
I love her.
Yeah, we love her. We love her. So you can come to our practices and our drop-ins and our events, and you could show up to wheelchair rugby,
get absolutely
hop in a wheelchair
cooked
rugby,
and really
you get cooked.
You
But
get cooked.
you
I
get
know
cooked.
I'd get cooked.
But yeah, you can come play, because I think like at the end of the day, we are not looking for, again, separate but equal. We're not looking for yet another thing where people with disabilities are doing something on the side.
Yes.
Or some like charity sports team. No, like, we are a competitive sports team, and if you want to play, it's not like there's stand-up, there's wheelchair basketball, and then there's basketball for people who are disabled. There's basketball and there's wheelchair basketball. They're two separate sports.
Yeah.
It uses different equipment. It has modified rules. Like, it's different techniques. It is not basketball for disabled people. It's wheelchair basketball. So
Something that I've noticed just from, now this is strictly from Instagram. Okay. We follow your Instagram.
I get all my information from Instagram.
But there appears to be a sense of camaraderie
Oh, hell yeah.
and togetherness.
Oh, hell yeah.
And incredible humility and just like this sense of levity with everyone, at least that I see you interacting with, and like willing to take, jump in the Instagram reels with you and stuff. Is that culture innate just in that building with the program that you've built? Have you cultivated that? Has it been a bit of both? Because it looks awesome.
Yeah, no, we have
awesome.
way too much fun. Seriously, way too much fun. But I think like with anything. And I honestly, I think I take this experience that we're doing right here, right now, doing a podcast, and I got like 9,000. I'm not nothing big. Like, we're just out here in little Michigan doing our thing. So I take experiences like this and opportunities like this, and I think like if we all had a platform, myself and the athletes in our program had this platform of like complaining about all the things that we don't have, instead of just like pioneering for them and having some freaking fun and being ourselves and doing things we love along the way, like I wouldn't get opportunities like sitting here and being able to talk about adaptive sports and therefore furthering the mission because there's, you know, awareness and backing behind the program. If I just like went on Instagram and I was like, oh, look, like we can't do this and they won't let us do that and blah, 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 blah. No one wants to hear that shit. Like, we know it's bad. Like, we know that there are inequities that are very real in the world of disability. And so, like, the fact that when we are, like, pushing each other out of wheelchairs and we're, like, you know, goofing off, making fun of each other, one of my most viral videos got, like, 2 million something views was ranking wheelchair athletes' squat forms. And they can't do squats. They're, like, falling over. And it was, like, the sound that was, like, all right, first up, we got E. Then we got beat. It was like that thing. Yeah. And people loved it. And the comments were so supportive. And like, we're always expecting somebody to be like an asshole in the comments. Nobody is. Everybody loves it. And they think it's so funny and fun. And then my account grows and views of disability and athletes who are incredible athletes with disabilities is growing. Like, people are seeing us. It's shoved in your face just like athletics is.
Yes.
And so it wouldn't be something that people can connect with and relate to and engage with if we were just like boo-hoo. And trust me, like, there are things to boo-hoo about when you have a disability, but those don't come from like just inherently having a disability. It comes from the limited access that you have to some things in the world. Mm-hmm. Like, the things that are shitty about disability are not usually like just symptoms of it. It's the way that you can't do certain things in the world. It's like society's like limit on stuff you can do. So like, people's spinal cord injuries, most of them aren't in pain. Like, none of our athletes are like in pain from their spinal cord injury, but it's a bummer because they can't freaking access an amusement park and they can't access their dorm room. And it's like, those are the things that suck.
Yeah.
But those don't have to be that way. That's not like a problem of the disability. It's a problem of like the access we have.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's things to boo-hoo about, but we're not like living like lives that you have to like pity. Like, we're funny and we're smart at Michigan and we're freaking fun and we're friends.
Michigan, incredibly good school for those who are unaware.
Oh, we love to flex that. We are the hardest school to get into that offers adaptive sport. Just saying. Everybody knows. If you want good academics and you want to be an adaptive athlete,
well,
fill out a recruit form online. Use my code, Abbey Phillipson.
Can you actually, you said something to me before we started recording. Can you tell everyone about the rule about the training room?
Oh, yes. Okay. So University of Michigan, if you enter the strength and conditioning room, it's probably everywhere on the athletic campus, and you are wearing red or green, get the fuck out. And it's enforced. It is enforced. Ohio State is red. Michigan State is green. Those are our rivals. And so quite literally, and like that extends to people with disabilities, okay? So I don't care if whoever with, you know, cerebral palsy had a bad morning and it's snowing outside and the sidewalks weren't shoveled or salted and 8 inches of snow on the ground and you pushed all the way in from the parking lot and you're covered in snow and you didn't take your meds. If you're wearing red, get the fuck out of my gym.
That is so sad.
And I actually feel quite bad because we had a volunteer come in one time who was like brand new. She was like so excited and she came in and she was literally wearing Michigan State. And I was like, oh my God, I hate to say this. I hate it, but
sorry,
I gotta find you a shirt. This is like, if I can't find you a shirt, you have to sit out there. Like, I just like, because that is what we want. Okay. Like, we do not want you to bend the rules for the sake of us having an easier time. You can follow the wear the Michigan shit or get out rule just like everybody else.
Yeah. It's interesting navigating the reality of like, not wanting to be, and rightfully so, to be treated differently, but also this like space of like, there are inherent differences.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you feel like there are some, what are some unique qualities or skills you feel like you've had honed and sharpened working in your space as compared to someone like myself who has worked with almost exclusively athletes and clients who are not disabled? Do you think, is it other things like communication, understand, like what are there differences?
Yeah. If you get the opportunity ever to work with an athlete that is blind, explaining strength and conditioning, explaining like doing a movement demo.
Oh my fucking God.
Without visual cues, without demonstration, it's such an awesome experience because you are relying on all of your other senses of what it feels like to do the movement, and it works. Like it's wonderful. So that's like a really, really cool experience. It's all these experiences that just make you realize that it's quite literally just strength and conditioning. Like just like you have to adapt to any athlete with any like, you know, your 6th grader who has no like understanding of where their hand is or where their leg is, and, like, has no control over anything. Like there are disabilities that don't allow for proprioception, and like there are disabilities where you cannot move. So like you just like any other athlete who has something that gives them a barrier to success in a certain facet of athleticism, like that is how it is for athletes with disabilities. So all this to say, I'm not going to say that I could work with literally anybody, but I feel like I could work with literally anybody.
I do. I'm going to just go ahead and co-sign that because listen, I've said this on the show a bunch. I feel very confident if you can teach an 80-year-old who has never worked out, played sports, how to hinge in one session, you can teach anybody 100%. To do anything.
Have you seen the video of my 93-year-old guy?
No.
Who's like a community member with Adaptive Sports?
No.
He's 93. His name's Phil. He's literally my best friend. But he strength trains like a motherfucker. He benches, he squats, he does the push.
And his name's Phil?
His name's Phil.
Shout out Phil.
He's amazing. Shout out Phil. If you're watching, he's definitely listening to this. Like he is my biggest fan. He is my biggest
fan.
Phil,
we love you, Phil. Let's go,
he
dude.
Strength trains at least once or twice a week. He still jumps off the diving board. He goes kayaking. He walks 10,000 steps a day.
93 years young, dude.
Yeah, he's still
he's more active than half the people I know.
Yeah.
Legend.
He's so ripped. We had a video of him go viral because he can cable row 200 pounds.
What?
Yeah, there's a video of it on my Instagram. Everyone was like freaking out. We did an April Fool's video, and I had him pretend like the 40 was really hard. So he was like, "Oh my God, I can't do it." And then I put it up to 200, and he just like repping it. It's really funny. So but, like that's what adaptive sports is for. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you're disabled, you participate in adaptive sports. Disability, this is a crazy fact for you. Disability will affect 1 in 3 people in their lifetime. 1 in 3 people will acquire a disability at some point in their lifetime. So adaptive sports, when we say adaptive sports is for everyone, like yes, you know, freak of nature athlete, ambulatory athlete without a disability, like adaptive sports is also for you, because if you're learning how to adapt movements and a gym space and just movement in general, sport in general, you are setting yourself up to be able to have physical fitness no matter what your body is, you know, capable of or what your body is enduring at that time. So 1 in 3 people, that's like the one minority group that you can become a part of at any time.
1 in 3 is a wild
1 in 3 is wild.
Stat.
Yeah.
That, I don't think the camera was on me, but if it was, it would have seen my jaw. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep. 1 in 3. So it's like, you know, you better get on board with adaptive sports because disability does not discriminate. Like it could be you, it could be your mom, it could be your sibling, it could be your kid. So it's like, yeah, get on because who knows? Get on board.
The Coach 'em Up podcast is sponsored by Squat Wedgies. Tim, what are squat wedgies?
Squat wedgies are an adjustable squat wedge, 7, 13, and 20 degrees.
It's big enough to elevate your whole foot and not just your heel.
Because it's rubber, it doesn't slide on surfaces.
It's 22 pounds, so it's durable and stable enough for even your biggest athletes.
There's a 90-day risk-free trial. The shipping is free, and
get 15% off squat wedgies with our discount code CoachEmUp15.
Coach 'em Up 15 for 15% off of the best squat wedge on the planet. We're going to do segments. I think I was gonna ask a question, but now I'm realizing that I'm gonna just end up asking you the same question twice in the segment, so I'm not gonna ask it. Okay. By the way, we've been going for an hour already.
Oh, wow.
It feels like it's been 20 minutes. I've been having a blast. This has been so fun.
I can talk faster and talk less. Don't you worry. So
no, take your time. By all means, we have plenty of time. Okay, this first segment is 3 things. It's brought to you by Squat Wedgies. Use code CoachEmUp15 at checkout to save 15% off everything at the Squat Wedgies website. And we love Squat Wedgies. Quick side note, they were our first sponsor and still sponsor us from day one. They are the day one. So shout out to you guys for believing in us when honestly, I don't even know if Zach and I did. Okay, so 3 things. What are 3 things you wish more people who aren't operating in your space on a day-to-day basis knew or understood about your space and working with the population you work with?
Yeah, absolutely. So the one thing, kind of already touched on it, but my biggest thing is that adaptive sports are not just for people with disabilities. Wheelchair basketball is not basketball for disabled people. It is wheelchair basketball. Wheelchair tennis is not tennis for disabled people. It's wheelchair tennis, separate sports. So if you want to hop in a sport chair and play wheelchair basketball and you are currently able-bodied, go for it. Play that sport. That sport is available to you. And it doesn't say much about the mission, do much about the mission if, we create a non-inclusive space, because sport already is fairly non-inclusive of people with disabilities. So what are we going to turn around and do the same thing? You can't play with us?
Exactly.
Damn. That's crazy.
It could be easy to do that.
Yeah.
And
schools do. Some schools do.
Really?
Yeah. Some programs do. Yeah. And that's fine. It's kind
of, look, like there's a side of me, even when you said that initially, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, it would be really easy to be like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
To anyone else. You know what I mean?
Would be. Yeah. But I think short term, maybe fuck you.
Yeah. It's counterproductive.
Long term, it's like, yeah, we are trying to just make sport, period. So.
I love that. Okay. Okay. Was that 2?
That was 1.
That was 1. All right.
Damn, I gotta clean up my.
Well, so you know what? Here's the thing, dude. I don't give these questions. I don't know, everyone listening and watching, I don't give these questions, these segments to anyone ahead of time. In fact, I tell no one anything ahead of time. So I put everyone on the spot with these.
I love that. I think I would panic if I had and I would say, it's not really
worse.
nerdy. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I get worse when I know.
I try to be like thinking about my notes.
Exactly.
No. Okay. Number 2. I had a thought here and I lost it. Number 2 would be that none of us are convinced at all. Wheelchair rugby is referred to as murder ball. Just if anybody didn't know that, there's a documentary called Murder Ball, because it's like it's like aggressive bumper cars. Like, in order to play defense, you are trying to knock people out of their chairs. Like, shit's crazy. Look up a wheelchair rugby clip on YouTube with my guy Chuck Aoki, and your life will be changed. It's
Ben, the editor, will you please put his highlight reel in the show notes,
there's one
please.
Of him like getting knocked out of his chair, and he saves the ball and he passes it and he gets completely thrown out of his chair. Incredible stuff. Like, it's a heavy contact sport. But anyways, so you cannot convince any of us that if wheelchair sports or adaptive sports were as in your face as, like, you can turn on TV and you can find a live sports match going on, or reruns of it. It's in the media, it's in broadcasting, it's on social media all the time. In your face sports. You cannot, even if you don't like sports, you know a little bit about sports. You see sports every day. You cannot convince me that if adaptive sport was kind of pushed in that same and got the same, media coverage and, broadcasting time, and was as available for people to watch, that people wouldn't watch it. Like, a wheelchair rugby match is so nasty, intense. And like, we had a wheelchair basketball game at the Chrysler Arena, which is where Michigan basketball plays. And we actually had a wheelchair basketball game, a rival game against Michigan State at the Chrysler Center. And we sold out like 3 times. We had 3,200
Let's go, dude.
Like, let's go. But we went so hard on social media and just like getting the word out there. We weren't like, forcing people to come. It's not some like charity event, but like we pushed it hard. Athletics pushed it. The university pushed it. We pushed it. It was as in your face as other sports. And it sold out 3 times. That stadium was packed. It was packed. People were screaming, doing the wave, like
Let's
nuts.
go.
We had like a half court shot like competition, and we had all these. It was just like if you were to go to a collegiate basketball game, and it sold out, and people were talking about it, and it was on every news thing ever in Michigan. People want to see it, and you will not convince us that if you had access to it, that people wouldn't watch it. It's cool as shit, and it's intense. Yeah.
I love that. We need more access.
Yeah. You should be able to turn on the TV or like at least like give us a documentary. Like, can somebody who's listening to this who like works for Netflix or something
Literally
just, like, give us a documentary, please? Like, like the Cheer one on Netflix? Yes. That's what I see. Like, I want a little bit of drama.
100%.
I want a little bit of friendship breakup.
100%. Like, let's make it catty.
Yeah, let's make
So-and-so is a bitch.
Absolutely.
Can't stand her.
Actually, a guy from Love Island just commented on one of our videos.
Really?
Our bench press video. He's like, hell yeah. I was like,
hell yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Sick.
Like,
let's go.
From the villa? The Love Island villa? Like, I literally just went, thanks, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He commented, hell yeah. I was like, okay.
Nice.
For sure. It was so funny. Okay, number 3. Just raise your bar of what inspires you. If you see somebody at a restaurant with a disability or like at a grocery store or like folding their laundry and they're in a wheelchair, don't say good job. They are doing what we all just gotta do.
You are such an inspiration.
I'm so proud of you. God forbid. And like people say this to Chuck all the time, and like as if he's literally not like one of the best athletes of the time period. It's offensive.
Yeah.
It's rude. I'm so glad that I made you want to go do something with your life, but like I think you should probably want to do that without having to pity somebody.
Yeah.
Yep, those are my 3.
Very solid 3. This next segment is called Rant and Rave. It's brought to you by Train Heroic. Click the link in the show notes and join me, join Zach, join what feels like 90% of our guests at this point on Train Heroic. We'd love to see you there. Rant and Rave. Okay.
Rant and Rave.
So, rant, something that you're seeing, and we can go as big as an umbrella, just fitness at large, just any trends, things you're seeing, you're like, would love to see less of that. And then rave, something you're seeing that you love, that you're like, I would love to see more of this. I think it's awesome.
Oh no. Okay, my rant is like fitness general. I think the functional fitness trend is so blown up out of proportion.
Yeah.
And hear me out, like especially like
Listen,
in
you're
my
in a safe
space.
place here.
Oh, thank God. Especially in my space where like before we had access to the strength and conditioning room, like we were just having to take whatever, equipment that we got for donation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we didn't have access to all this cool stuff, right? Quite honestly, your muscle tissue does not know the difference between a kettlebell or a dumbbell or a dumbbell on a balance board or whatever. Like appropriate stimulus is appropriate stimulus.
Preach.
And I cannot stand like when people like just like think inherently because a kettlebell makes you wobble a little bit that it's more functional than a dumbbell.
It's more better
drives
for
me
balance.
Bonkers.
You didn't know, Abby? It makes it more better. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So functional fitness makes me mad. I also worked at a Crunch Fitness for like, unfortunately, like a year and a half before
Oh, so you got a very solid Gen Pop dose.
Yeah. I was the fitness manager of a
you
Crunch
were.
Fitness franchise in Southeast Michigan. And it was the worst experience
Well,
of
off
my
air,
life.
I may have a business proposition for you. We'll talk about this later.
Okay. Deal. Does it rival Crunch? Because I'll do it. Good luck canceling your membership. They like literally would make me like not let people cancel their membership.
No, dude, I worked at an LA Fitness. It was my first training job. LA Fitness, basically, you know, like the weird cousin of Crunch. They're the same family tree.
It's a little more modern.
Yeah, right.
Less bright colors.
Yeah, exactly.
Continue.
Yes, exactly. But it was the same thing. They were like, okay, you're going to sell these people training. It's a contract. It's going to be great. Have fun. I'm like, oh, I'm going to sell them training. They're going to get great training. That didn't happen. And then people would be like, hey, my trainer hasn't shown up for a week. I want to cancel. And I remember going to my boss the first time this happened. I was like, hey, this family that signed for 4 times a week for a year with me because I sold them a dream. Turns out their trainer hasn't been showing up. They want to cancel it. He's like, you walk back out there and tell them we don't do cancellations. They signed a contract. And I went, what? Dude,
can my rant just be
like, time out.
Commercial gyms and their membership? Like, can that be my rant? Like, honestly, that doesn't even shine a light on functional fitness. Use your kettlebells. I hate the cancellation, like lock you in a contract bullshit. Like, oh my God. And like, it's such a money grab. Like I left work every single day, like wanting to cry myself to sleep because I'm lying to people. Like the business model is lie to people.
Literally.
And I felt like so bad because I'm so passionate about like access to fitness and that it should be a part of literally everybody's life. And I had this experience where this guy who was working above me, like I took on a client who had my same condition and she like got hurt and needed to cancel.
Yeah.
And not from training. Like she got hurt.
Happened.
She dislocated something outside of training. And like I didn't know how it worked. I'm thinking like, oh my God, like she quite literally can't come back to training. Like
yes.
And my freaking boss at the time, he got fired, thank God. But he like emailed me back and he goes, why are you taking on clients that have no business being in a gym in the first place?
For the love of God.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then he locked her into the contract. Yeah. And she came in like crying like multiple times, like saying like please, like it was like $300+ a month and he wouldn't let her get out of it. I'm like, she's freaking in a cast. Like you want her to come in here and be a liability for you? Like it was so wild to me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that like experiences like that are not uncommon in a box gym setting.
Actually quite common. I think they actually enforce it, but
it's insane.
Yeah. So that's my rant. That's my rant. Membership structure at commercial gyms.
What's your rave?
Disabled people. Okay. No. My rave, any exercise that is seated, okay? And hear me out.
Okay.
I program for athletes who use wheelchairs and I ask them if like they're comfortable getting onto the floor, right? Mm-hmm. Seated pull-ups. No freaking joke. Like I actually added them to my program because after like one set of pull-ups, I'm cooked. I can do like 2 on my next set, right? Sit on the floor, put the barbell height like just where you can reach it. So your arm is in a completely extended position and you keep your butt on the floor and you make your legs dead weight if you have the choice to do that or not. Uh-huh. And you do pull-ups. And if you can't do a pull-up, you can use a little bit of your leg weight. And then progressive overload is using less and less of your legs. So seated shit. Do the same shit and sit. Seated deadlifts. Chef's kiss. You get a little bit of glute for somebody who has like a spinal cord injury or doesn't use their legs that much. It's enough stimulus for their glutes and hamstrings. But they sit on like the edge of a bench.
Yeah.
Dumbbells or the barbell can go under their legs. So you can load that thing up. You can load the barbell up as you would a traditional deadlift, a standing deadlift. And you put the barbell under their legs and they pull up from there. And it hits the back of your hamstrings. Crazy lower back exercise, which is super important for me because they chopped through all those muscles back there.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, you can do some crazy hard exercises sitting down. So if you're a person who's currently just sitting in your bed and think that working out's not for you, go to the gym and sit.
It is.
The whole time.
It is.
And you'll get a good workout in.
Newsflash,
you can sit and hit a 1 rep max.
I love it. Overrated versus underrated. Okay, this is powered by Vald. I got it right this time. We are powered by Vald, folks. And by the way, go to Vald.com and you can request a demo. I use their Smart Speed and Force Decks. They're fantastic. I may or may not be taking a trip to Australia for ValdCon. Hopefully I can swing it. This is overrated versus underrated. So Pretty broad strokes. It can be in the performance space, the fitness space. What are some ideas, concepts, philosophies that pertain to training that are overrated and some that are underrated?
Okay, this one is going to get a little pushback, I think. This idea that Nordic hamstring curls are superior to a seated leg curl on a machine. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. It is pretty much the same exact mechanics, and Nordics are way harder for newer athletes, for athletes who have not been training for a long time, who are not strong in their hamstring. That is a very, very, very similar stimulus. And so I think people are like, oh yeah, like Nordics are make your hamstrings bulletproof. And
Exactly.
it's like nothing, no type of training makes you bulletproof. There is no, I think somebody on your podcast said this, like nobody's like preventing injury.
Right.
That's not really a thing. But
Right.
like you thinking that Nordics will bulletproof your hamstrings, but a seated hamstring curl following same principles of, progressive overload and, proper rest and recovery and deload and programming, like that is, it's going to do largely the same thing to your hamstrings as Nordics. Please don't come for me.
I'm a big seated leg curl guy. I knew you and I, we're on the same page. We really are. Love them. If anyone comes for you, I'm going to stand on the fire lines with you on that one. Okay. So, Nordics. Overrated.
Overrated.
What's underrated?
Underrated for athletes specifically.
Okay.
Underrated is taking a good amount of time for hypertrophy work. I think people are sport specific this and sport specific that, and they focus on that so much after a small, maybe not well programmed hypertrophy program, and they expect to be able to keep that base and the proper base for putting on other adaptations. So especially in my work, hypertrophy work is extremely, extremely important to have that so solid so that you can reap the benefits of, building on, cross-sectional area of the muscle tissue and putting on strength and power and other sport-specific adaptations. So, I think abandoning hypertrophy work and basic strength work in pursuit of something sport-specific is silly to abandon.
Are we the same person, dude? I swear to God.
We look
your
just a
answers
little
are so
different,
I'm
but-
trying to I've noticed I'm literally in the past several, I'm just shut up. Because I'm just gonna sound like I'm just glazing you the whole time. But literally I agree on literally everything you're saying.
Could we be related? We're actually trying to find out how I got my ridiculously stretchy skin and organs.
We could be related.
Do you stretch? Because I'm trying to find where this came from.
I'm not
stretchy.
stretchy.
We're not related.
No. You got any redheads?
My mom is a redhead. My brother's a redhead.
Your mom and your brother?
Yeah.
You could have gotten the double whammy of ginger, you could have been double mutated.
Brother?
brother. Oh my God, that was so good.
Just for the record, on the topic of my mom, she has strength trained for the last 40 years. She's 67. She's so hot. My mom looks like she's 50. So
what's your mom's name?
Patty.
Shout out Patty.
Shout out Patty. People meet her and they think she's 45.
Give Patty Phillipson a follow, y'all.
Literally, if there's no other reason to get your ass to the gym, it's to be hot when you are 67.
That is an awesome goal.
She gets hit on every time she goes to Kroger, which is the grocery store we have. I don't know if they have.
No, we have Kroger's back
amazing.
in the South where I'm from. Where are you from?
Michigan.
You're from
Southeast Michigan, yeah. I went to school in Ann Arbor.
I could hear some of you were speaking, and a few times I was like, she's from the Midwest.
Yeah.
That I know.
You can always tell. There's a phrase, hot Alaskan basketball.
Whoa.
And people was like, yeah, that's Michigan.
See, I've been out of the South for some years now, so I can say hot Alaskan basketball and it be
hot Alaskan basketball.
But if I get on the phone with my mom, it's hot Alaskan basketball.
Right here, brother.
All right. Last segment. This is unsolicited, solicited advice. This is brought to you by Aoki. Can't believe they sponsored this show. Thank you, Aoki. Also, you guys should know, if you click on the link and use code CoachEmUp10 at checkout. You get 10% off everything that Aoki offers, which is absurd. So do that. Take advantage of that. Do the right thing. Unsolicited, solicited advice. So you're here for a few days.
I'm here for a few days. But wait, can I make a comment to Aoki?
Please,
really
go.
They're the only company that makes a para powerlifting bench. They make an adaptive bench.
Shout out Aoki, man.
We didn't get approval in the budget for it yet. I'm hoping this year. But like that is the brand that is used at para powerlifting national sanctioned competitions. And it's such a good freaking para powerlifting bench. It's so wheelchair accessible. Like everybody can do it. It's amazing. I love it so much.
I can't wait. The minute we finish this podcast, I'm texting Magnus and telling him that this happened.
Please.
I will.
We are like, all of us on the para powerlifting team, we are like scrolling on their like custom para powerlifting benches all day. And we're like, like they're beautiful. They're amazing.
That's incredible. Okay. So tomorrow you're going to, let's say you decide to go on a stroll around Lady Bird Lake. It's a popular thing to do here. It's very lovely. It's where all the young, pretty people go to walk and run club. You know, like you end up like walking next to someone. It's like kind of awkward. You're like both walking at the same speed. You don't know them, but like you guys are heading in the sea. There's only one way to go, you know? Normally you would just like either like speed up or slow down to like avoid interacting with this person. But for whatever reason, you feel compelled, convicted. You just got to share this piece of advice with them. It's unsolicited, but I'm soliciting it now. What would your single piece of advice be? And it can be about anything.
Add blended cottage cheese to literally anything, and you will meet your protein goal without supplement. Mac and cheese, blend up some cottage cheese, add it in. Marinara sauce, make it a little pink sauce, a little creamy vodka sauce. Blend up cottage cheese, put it in. Cottage cheese and scrambled eggs. Cottage cheese with ranch seasoning. You got ranch sauce now, buttermilk ranch. Cottage cheese is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I love cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese is the alpha and the omega. Do you know Andy Sandberg?
Yeah.
It's like that song. He's like, I threw it on the ground. Like you were saying that, I was like, blend cottage cheese to like everything you said.
Cottage cheese. And I don't like cottage cheese just as is.
Right.
Have you seen the macros on cottage cheese?
It is pretty fucking elite.
It's insane.
It is.
It's insane.
You're right.
So I buy Goodle's pasta, which is like those little protein white cheddar mac and cheese like boxes that are so good.
Oh yeah.
So that's already like a good amount of protein.
Yeah.
Because all my athletes come to me and they're like, I don't like protein powder. And I'm like, well, go buy yourself some cottage cheese.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Cottage cheese, have you heard of it?
Have you heard of it? Greek yogurt, similarly, but like without the cheesiness.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese is literally just Greek yogurt with cheese if you blend it. Like a cheesy tasting Greek yogurt. Macros, elite at its everything.
Shout out cottage cheese. Shout out that trick.
Use my code.
Yes. Abby, we're out of time, but I'm so glad that we got to do this. Thank you for coming to Austin.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, are you kidding?
I'm so glad you want to talk about this, and this is a space that you wanted to enter in. So we're super appreciative. Always having just time and space to talk about it, because again, it could be anybody.
It could be.
Not to scare you, but like, go watch some adaptive sports. We're super cool.
Do it.
Do it.
Where can people find you, connect with you? And I'm going to plug your Instagram real quick, because if you're not following her Instagram page, go do it. It's a fucking gold mine. It is incredible.
If you like disability jokes, but you yourself can't make them because you don't have a disability, we will make them and you can laugh with us.
It's at Abbey Phillipson.
It's at Abbey Phillipson, but my name is ABBEY. So if you're looking for an ABBY, you're not going to find it, and you don't get to laugh with us. Abbey Phillipson, ABBEY, Phillipson. And our program is University of Michigan Adaptive Sports and Fitness. So UMich Adaptive Sports online and on Instagram.
Love it. Thank you so much, everyone. If you've made it this far, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Peace.